Here are some steps to prepare for mediation. The first thing is that you should be as prepared to go to mediation as you are to go to court. What do I mean by that? You should have all of the information that you need before going into mediation to help you make a good decision in the mediation. If you feel like you need to know, and you should know, exactly how much your spouse is making or your ex-partner is making, if you need to know what their assets are, where the assets are, the value of a house, the value of a business, whatever information it is that you need to have so that you can make a good decision about your future, you need to go get it. Otherwise, you're just going to burn the mediator's time and burn your mediation time gathering facts instead of making life choices. Another tip to prepare for mediation is to start by exchanging with the person that you're mediating with proposals and offers. You should do this probably a week in advance of mediation. It's a really good idea to know where they're starting and where you're starting, because then you can have a week to kind of marinate on the ideas, to talk with your attorney, and to help figure out where you might be willing to give and where you really want to hold firm. And that will lead to a more productive mediation. Another tip to prepare for mediation is to consider doing a confidential mediation statement with your attorney. Now, in some places these are required, in other places it is completely optional. But what a confidential mediation statement is it is a statement to the mediator in advance that lays out kind of the facts of the case and what your positions are and what the impediments to settlement are. What are the things, the roadblocks that the mediator is going to have to help you work with? And I serve as a mediator in addition to working as a family law attorney. And when I get these in advance from mediation participants, it gives me time to start thinking about, okay, how can I help work through these roadblocks? What are some options that I can help present to these folks to help them move past this? And how can I help them have a conversation to get on the same page about this? So confidential mediation statements, I'm a really big fan of. Another tip to prepare for mediation is to remain flexible. I know this is really hard, and I tell every single one of my mediation participants this: you got to remain flexible, because if one idea is something that you get so attached to with such rigidity, you're probably not going to get there, because mediation is give and take, it's back and forth, and it is walking away with a durable resolution, not a resolution that both parties are ecstatic and happy about, but one that they can both hopefully live with for the long term. Another tip about mediation to prepare is to talk with your attorney and truly understand what your best day is in court and your worst day. Because you never want to walk out of mediation accepting what your worst day in court was going to be anyway. Because at that point, why not roll the dice? You don't have to be afraid of a courtroom, and you don't have to be afraid of a judge. If you're going to go into mediation and the only deal that is on the table from the other side is your worst day in court, just roll the dice. However, you have to understand that you are not likely to walk out with your best day in court, because your best day in court probably doesn't look too dissimilar to the other side's worst day in court. And why wouldn't they roll the dice anyway? So understanding your best day in court and your worst day in court, and really embracing that you're going to end up somewhere in the middle if you choose to agree in mediation, that's what you got to know. You got to know where those boundaries are. And you got to be comfortable ending up somewhere in the middle, because if you're not getting your best day, it might seem tempting to be like, let's roll the dice and go to court. But you got to remember, you could end up with your worst day. So know your best day, know your worst day, so that you can make a good decision. Another tip that I have to prepare for mediation is to work on some emotional regulation. If you have a therapist or a divorce coach, it's a really good idea to work with them on this. But I will tell my clients to do things like have some calming tea, do not drink alcohol or wine or something like that the night before. Really make sure that you are well rested and in a good frame of mind. Because if you are really still struggling emotionally, if you are still highly emotional about the fact that you are getting divorced, that this is all happening to you, and that is your current mindset, you're not in a great place to make decisions about your future, to focus on your future, and to focus on your new beginning. So do whatever you have to do. Mental health treatment, divorce coaching, anything in those veins to get yourself centered and to get yourself focused on the opportunities in front of you. Because what I see is people go into mediation so emotional, and then they end up making decisions that they regret for a very, very long time. If you are going to go to mediation, whether you're looking for a family law mediator or you're looking for an attorney to stand by your side and advocate for you in mediation, Z Family Law is here to help. We don't write endings, we create new beginnings, and we're here to help you create yours.